Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Tahir Dhindsa and you are watching SDTV. Conflict is the biggest enemy of development that not only stops the progression, it regresses it, and it puts a constraint for a very long time to start over, collect the pieces and start over from where it was left over. So it is important that someone should come over and bring those all that pieces of jigsaw puzzle and put them together and start from where it was left and compensate for the lost time. Pakistan has seen quite a major conflict in the form of terrorism, and I would say it's not economic meltdown, but it's quite a turmoil right now. We couldn't import, LCs were under pressure, rates were different, interest rate is 24%, if you put in the spread as well 27 or about 30% you can say on the working, all those things. So we have today with us an expert from Nepal who is expert in post-conflict reconstruction and rebuilding and all sort of things. Dr. Bishnu Raj Upreti, very warm welcome to SDTV. Say something on I've just said and we'll as a premise and then we'll continue from there.
Thank you very much, sir. It was really nice to be with the SDTV. Again, I had a long collaboration with the SDPI and I was working since long in the South Asian regional issues, looking to the conflict, post-conflict state building, climate insecurity, environmental insecurities and so on. So in that context, several years I attended the SDPI Sustainable Development Conference, and in between for a few years I was not able to come, and now I am coming to share my perspective. I had the two sessions. So basically today I will briefly share about my understanding of the conflict and post-conflict situation of South Asia, but not only Pakistan, you see. Nepal had gone very difficult time, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, India, there are so many conflicts still going on. So our region, South Asia region, is really a hot spot of the conflict. Large majority of the people are lack of access to proper livelihood system. There are so many complicated structural causes, governance issue, and also the regional power disequilibrium. All these are creating quite a complication, and these complications we need to address to progress. As you explained very nicely, there are so many challenges coming because of the conflict. The terrorism, insecurity, food insecurity, water insecurity are also related with this broader political insecurity, and therefore it is quite essential to address them, and for that it requires more concerted action, collective understanding, and mutual respect and work each other in the regional level and within the country level. It is quite important to ensure the governance, good governance structure.
Do you think there could be some mechanism, if you want to talk on the regional basis, do you think there can be some mechanism through which we can build a vested interest of the neighbor in the prosperity and well-being of others without compromising on the conflicts on which they have a long-standing stand on?
You see, there are a lot of potential, and still we had a very apex body like SAARC. The India somehow was not willing to move it ahead, but we have to have, because India alone, despite its power, despite its richness and wellness, whatever it is, India will alone not be able to secure South Asia. So it requires the collective action between the countries, and for that we have some form of mechanism like SAARC, or there could be any other, and it shouldn't be only one single forum. In fact, there can be several forums, and the trans-regional forum like forum for the researcher, forum for the academics, policy maker, journalist, planner, and they can share, they can learn from each other, and basically develop better understanding how we could address this type of the causes, structural causes of the insecurity in this region, structural causes of the conflict, and it is possible. Only difficulty is that the current mindset of the South Asian countries and current behavior of some of the countries is not appropriate to facilitate that type of the collaboration. We have to have more flexible, open mind to address these challenges.
This mindset need the internal politics of these, different countries, because these are electoral policies, electoral interest of the individual countries. You know what I'm saying. Do you think for the time being, without those countries who are part of the problem, not part of the solution, rest of the countries can rally together and form some sort of a mechanism without ostracizing them, so they should not feel
you see, it is so interconnected, interrelated region, and I don't think it will be real sustainable solution if we left one country or other, and if we don't really support, because the climatic effort, for example, the climatic impact, the climatic insecurity, it's something happens in Himalayas, then it has an effect in Bangladesh and India. If something happens in other part, it affects in Pakistan, and so it is quite complicated, but we have to start somewhere, something, and there we need to come up with the open solution. So maybe we can keep aside the bigger issues for the time being and start with more common soft side of the insecurity and build on that. And once the trust building starts, once the understanding is a little bit open, and then gradually we can also deal on that, because it is virtually impossible in this 21st century to isolate one country or to really create insecurity and segregate one country from others and want to have the peace, prosperity, economic development, whatever it is, whether it is in Africa, whether it is in Asia, South Asia, or Latin America, wherever it is. We are quite interconnected. There are so many interlinkages, and therefore these all countries have to work together, coordinate each other, and India must take the lead to move ahead, because India has more leverage, India has more power, and the current Indian establishment is not that willing to do in the more political front. But for the economic, for example, starting with some of the mutually beneficial economic activities in the regional level, in the South Asia level, addressing the climate insecurity, but addressing the migration, addressing the flood and others, that we could start, and it is a mutual beneficial for all. It will benefit for India. The cost of not engaging with other countries and not collaborating is higher than engaging and collaborating. Of course, that there are when I talk about the SAARC, one clear issue is the Indo-Pak historical relation, but these two countries cannot hang on this history, and they have to move ahead. They have to find the other path and to go together.
Right. Thank you very much. So the bottom line is that we cannot hang on to the history. We should move ahead and simultaneously try to build the confidence and then solve it. This is a region that has to live together and prosper together, or God forbid, it might end up in some, losing opportunity, and that is also together. That's all for today. Goodbye for now.